The Budokai Tenkaichi games are a series that many people, including myself, hold very dear to their heart. And when I heard that a new Tenkaichi was coming out, I lost my fucking shit.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's dreaming me! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT! What are you talking about? This shit means something!
Honestly, I'm still in shock. I still can't believe that it's actually happening. Damn near 2 decades after the last game came out, we're actually getting Tenkaichi 4. It's so surreal. And so I thought that now is the perfect time to go back and just see what it was exactly that made the original Budokai Tenkaichi games so special. And what better place to start with than the original. So of course, it being the first game in the series, it's going to be the roughest, and yeah, you can tell that the combat in this game is not very good. It's really janky and the combos aren't very fleshed out yet, and the camera, oh my god, the camera in this game is fucking horrible. Oh my god, wow! Yeah, the combat in this game is just, is not the best in the series.
Yes, at last! I have finally defeated Kakarot!
And of course, it being first means that it has the smallest roster out of all of the games, and it also has the smallest map count. And of course, like most Dragon Ball Z games, it goes through the same exact story of Dragon Ball Z again. But the cool thing about these games is that the story modes have these what-if scenarios, and these are always really fun.
Bojack, you're still alive?
Yeah.
Here, we're gonna put your skills.
Who the fuck is this?
This game also has an ultimate battle mode where you fight against 100 different opponents until you either win or you die. And of course, there's also the
World Martial Arts Competition!
which is just your basic fighting game tournament mode. But it's really cool just actually participating in the World Martial Arts Tournament. And I guess now is a good time to talk about the Z items. These basically give you different stat boosts to help you out during fights. But the really interesting thing is that you can fuse some of these together to unlock completely new characters. That's pretty cool. So yeah, the first game is pretty janky, but you can see that they laid down the foundation for what was to come in further sequels if, you know, they cooked a little more. And oh boy, cooked they did, because then we get... Real quick, can we just talk about how fucking cool this opening cinematic is? This is one of the coolest opening cinematics I've seen in any Dragon Ball game. Like Goku just flying in the fucking sky, Vegeta and Trunks just standing next to each other all badass, and fucking Cell and Baby just chilling. It's fucking awesome. But yeah, straight off the bat, you can see that this game heavily improved on the combat. The combos are a lot more fleshed out, and they're a lot more complex, and it flows so much nicer. This game's combat is just a big improvement. And something to point out is that in between games, there's like slight differences in animations for like supers and stuff. Like Goku's instant transmission in Tenkaichi 2 is a little bit different from Tenkaichi 1's, and significantly different in Tenkaichi 3's. And some characters have completely different supers, like Ultimate Gohan in Tenkaichi 2 has the Super Kamehameha, but in Tenkaichi 3 has the random ass explosive wave. I don't know why. I mean, it's not a big deal, but it is something to point out. But anyways, this game still has all of the same game modes from Tenkaichi 1.
Oh, my back!
And the great thing about these games is that with every sequel, every game mode gets a lot more content put into them. But easily the most unique aspect of this game is its story mode.
Hey, you came!
Yeah, it still goes through the same story of Dragon Ball Z, but it has this cool little overworld that you can run around in. And obviously it's not on the level of like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot or anything, but it's still pretty cool. Like you can go to Baba's palace or fight random enemies you encounter throughout the world. And these cutscenes actually try to reenact scenes from the anime. I mean, it's very limited, but it tries. And you can even collect the Dragon Balls by finding them like hidden in maps during fights. And you could wish for like secret items from Shenron. It's pretty cool. Tenkaichi 2 just generally improved upon pretty much everything from the original game. And I see why some people still count it as their favorite in the series.
Man, I don't feel like working out today. Maybe tomorrow.
Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Yeah, I'm probably gonna be a little more biased with this one because I grew up with this one. So yeah, I fucking love this game. But yeah, this game is where pretty much everything is at its best. The combat is so fluid, it's so good. It's good enough to the point where I can pretty much still come back to this game and still play it to this day. And it's such a good time, man. This game's combat is so good. And yeah, we still got all the same game modes and even more. We got this like little training simulator thing. It's kind of weird, but it's there. There's a survival mode where you have to fight against waves of enemies. Of course, the tournament modes are still here. And this game adds even more different kinds of tournaments, like the Otherworld tournament. That's fucking awesome. And of course, you can still collect the Dragon Balls. Although I do admit the story mode in this game is kind of a downgrade compared to Tenkaichi 2's. This story mode is basically just a mission select with dialogue, cutscenes in between. They switched me out just to fucking kill me. Yeah, they switched you to Vegeta just to kill. Oh. But there's still the what if scenarios, and those are always really fun. And this game has a little secret for the really real gamers. If you insert a secret password into the data center, you unlock the Red Patara characters. The Red Pataras are basically like little dev items that if you put them on, you basically become a fucking god. And if you're feeling extra suicidal, you can try to beat them, but good luck with that.
Oh my god!
Tenkaichi 3 is pretty much where just everything is at its best. The fighting is at its best, it has pretty much the most content out of all the games. And I know I sound biased, but this is the game that I grew up with, so I fucking love it. It's so fucking good. So we've taken a look at every Tenkaichi game. Now let's find out what it was that made these games so good. And of course, let's start with the roster. The roster in these games is a huge aspect of why they're so good. And man, these rosters are fucking giant. Like, they even include really weird characters like Mr. fucking Satan and Frieza Soldier. Fucking Frieza Soldier.
Who the fuck is that?
It's so fucking goofy, man. I love this shit. Oh, and also the music. The music in these games is some of the best music I've heard from any Dragon Ball game. It's so good. The music in these games are fucking bangers. This soundtrack is peak gym music. And also the energy of these games, like the fighting in these games, are probably the closest that any Dragon Ball game has gone to replicating the same feeling of an actual Dragon Ball fight. Like, the combos look cinematic as fuck, the grabs look cool as shit, and there's even like vanish counters, there's Dragon Rush clashes, there's beam struggles.
Where's this coming from?
Everything about these games just perfectly captured the spectacle that you would see from a Dragon Ball fight, and it's fucking awesome. But I think another part of these games that make them so good is just the personality that they have. Everything about these games, down to just even the menus, just emanates personality. Like in Tenkaichi 3, Chi-Chi's commentary is fucking hilarious. I love just going into these menus and just seeing her talk shit on all the fucking Saiyans. It's so funny.
I have no interest in the differences of a Super Saiyan, but those muscles are incredible.
What?
Even the fucking loading screens are memorable. Not to mention the alternate costumes these games have. Like, I love fighting in Goku's End of Z outfit. It looks so fucking clean. And the character interactions in these games are just everything.
Dad! What is it, Gohan? You look sad. What's wrong?
It's the little things like this that just show that these games were made with pure passion and just love put into them. And it's so great. It makes them so good. I fucking love these games, man, and I'm so happy that these games are finally being brought back to life with the new sequel, because these games are just absolute masterpieces. So to answer the question of what made the Budokai Tenkaichi games so special, it was everything.
If I don't